My name is Vincent. This is Kevin, and our cameraman is Taeyong today. And we're going to be taking you on the Good Evening Seoul evening e-bike tour. So without further ado, we have our helmets, our bikes in good order, got some awesome e-bikes here, and we're ready to go. The course is going to take us today from here, where we are here in Cheonggyecheon, on Gwangtang-gyo, very famous bridge that was the main bridge across the main river of the ancient city of Hanyang, which we'll be exploring today. We'll be going out to the city hall to see the city hall plaza and one of the 5 big palaces in Seoul, Deoksugung. We'll ride around, we'll follow the wall of Deoksugung around to just around the perimeter, and we'll be joining a road that connects Gwanghwamun, the main, like the Champs-Élysées of Korea, the big road. You'll know it when we cross it, and it connects all the way down to the East Gate market, which is called Dongdaemun, which is famous for its 24-hour clothes shopping mainly. It's where K-pop gets dressed. So we'll be checking out the East Gate down there, Dongdaemun Market, and the very, very famous Dongdaemun Design Plaza, which is Zaha Hadid's masterpiece. So look forward to that. Then we'll be going up Naksan. And Naksan is the mountain on the east side of the city, and from there we should be able to see some pretty awesome night views of the city, and we'll be following the ancient city wall all the way up to the top. So we'll get plenty of great shots of the city wall. We'll then come back down the way we went up, and we'll head across to Jongmyo, which is it's like a palace, and we'll then go to Seonsanga, which is a plaza which sells mainly electronics, and then we'll hit a place that you might have heard of, Gwangjang Market. We'll check that out, and finally we'll end back here. En route, we'll also go to Ikseongdong, which is a very trendy little neighborhood, and there's lots of other little gems on the way, so look forward to it. Shall we? Follow me. Seoul's a wonderful place to ride. It has many, many bike lanes, designated bike lanes. Some of them are, we were just on it's all red, so you can't miss it. But you may think, oh, why are they riding on the sidewalk? And the answer will be, well, it's not just for pedestrians, it's also for bicycles. Some of these sidewalks are for joint use. So don't worry, we're not breaking the law. Ooh, nice McLaren. Also, as I ride through the city, you'll be noticing me doing hand signals. They might be slightly different to where you are in the world. In Korea, it's common to put out your right hand when you're going right, your left hand when you're going left, and if I make a fist and raise it above my shoulder, that means I'm stopping. In these summer months, we like to do the evening tours and the morning tours because it is quite humid, hot and humid. It's probably around about 27 degrees centigrade right now, which is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. and it is humid. Riding on the e-bike is, well, it's a breeze. What can I say? So this is the famous Gwanghwamun, not Gwanghwamun, this is the famous City Hall, Seoul City Hall. And this plaza here is where in 2002, thousands gathered to watch the World Cup game. It's a place where festivals are held. It's a beautiful spot, a nice public space. Punctuated with the Seoul slogan, I Seoul you. You'll notice the City Hall has two buildings. There's the kind of older one from, looks like kind of 50s or 40s era building, and then the newer building in the background, which was built more recently in the 20th century. I think the contrast is quite cool. What do you think? Across the road here is Deoksugung Palace. This is the main gate of Deoksugung. It wasn't always the main gate. This is the east gate, actually. But of the 5 palaces in Seoul, the east gate, this is the one that where the main gate is on the east. And the reason being because of this big road here. It's easier to get in. We're going to be going around the main gate. Fortunately, there's some construction there. But we'll be going onto a little romantic street called Doldam-gil, just around the corner here. This street follows the palace wall, and is a place where people would come and propose in the past, go on dates and propose. I've heard of a few proposals down here. Oh, the trees make such a difference. It's almost like the street's air conditioned. On the weekends, you'll get lots of street performers and musicians. Playing here. And on the weekends, it's closed to cars usually. A nice street to stroll down. Lots of wonderful coffee shops. 지나갑니다. Directly ahead of us here is the Donimun Museum Village. Donimun is used to be a gate in the city wall, which would come across here, actually, back in the day. However, it's been removed for the road to be built. So at WeRide, although that road was a share road, we could have stayed on that road, riding safely. It's always nicer to go on a quieter road like this, and there's plenty of them. Wherever there's a big road, big throughway, there's always a side street where you can relax a little. You can see Namsan Tower over there in the distance, the Seoul Tower. So we've curled all the way around the perimeter of Doksugon Palace now. Kind of a wide perimeter there. And we're now heading to a street called Jongdo, which will cross over Gwanghwamun, which is a very famous street. This is Jongdo that you're looking at, and Gwanghwamun runs at right angles to the palace. At the end you see the main palace, Gyeongbokgung. Gyeongbok Palace. Right, well, who are we looking at here? This is General Lee Sun-shin, and he's famous for being outnumbered 10-1 in a naval invasion from Japan in the 1500s, and he's superior technology. The turtle ship that's at the foot of the statue there is what, and his, of course, superior tactics led to a naval victory, saving Korea from another Japanese invasion. So he's a hero, and he earned his spot. You might be able to just make out past him. There's another statue there. That's a statue of King Sejong. King Sejong is Korea's favorite king. He was the fourth king, I believe, and he was He's famous for being very benevolent and taking Korea through, progressing Korea through technological steps, specifically in timekeeping and in agriculture. He also developed the Korean text, which we still use, Hangul. Now we're riding down Jongdo, Jongdo, ro means road and Jong means bell. So I guess in English this is Bell Street. It's got this cool bike lane that follows it all the way down. It comes from Gwanghwamun, where the statue of the general and the king, down to the East Gate and beyond, to be honest. This bike lane goes all the way down to the East Gate, and this is more or less what we're following today. Hold on. So you may be wondering why this is called Bell Street, and the reason is, you'll see in a moment, there's a building that we'll pass just shortly. It's a traditional building that represents the center of the old city of Hanyang. The building is called Boshingak. Boshingak has a bell in it. That bell was used to communicate with the citizens of the city, let them know when the gates were opened, let them know what time it was, let them know when curfew was. They would ring the bell to let everyone know. These days the bell isn't rung too often, but it is rung every year on New Year's Day, 13 times. This street on New Year's is shut down. It's like Times Square in New York. You know, everyone is in the street counting down the new year. And there it is. You can just make out the bell inside on the second floor there. And that building and that bell gives its name to the subway station nearby, Jonggak, and also this whole neighborhood, Jongdo, whereas as I said, bell means Jong is bell. Just across the junction on the other side, you can see Tapgol Gongwon. Back in the day, it used to be the site of a temple, but that was long before. Now it's a park, and it's actually where in 1910, 1911, after the Japanese annexed Korea, there was a proclaimment, an announcement of independence, and the Korean Constitution was read out in that park after being, the Korean flag was waved, and then the whole thing was shut down by the Japanese military, and a lot of the people involved in that were martyred in Sodaemun prison. It's actually quite closely associated with what was happening at Deoksugung, the palace we were just at earlier, because that palace is where the last king of Korea, King Gojong, resided. He didn't spend a lot of time there because he spent quite a bit of time in exile in Russia. But when he did come back to Korea, he brought back coffee, and he built a little coffee pavilion in the grounds there. And he also had a British architect build part of the palace there, so it's It's a very modern looking palace, almost European in many ways, as well as having a lot of the traditional elements too. That he was the final king, and in 1910, Japanese took the country as part of the Japanese Empire. We're heading across to a structure called Jongmyo, but behind us you'll notice Seoul Sangha. Now remember that building because we'll be heading back this way a little bit later on, and I'll let you know more about it. But for now we're heading this way to Jongmyo, past Jongmyo, to a neighborhood called Ikseongdong, which I think you'll like because, well, a lot of people do like it. So if you're with us for the morning e-bike tour, you will remember village. It's similar to that. It has historic, traditional architecture. However, the neighborhood has been, well, it got very run down, and a few years back it got, I guess, gentrified is the right word, and became coffee shops and popular hangout places. So it's got a new lease of life recently, and it's now a very trendy and quite expensive neighborhood. 지나가겠습니다. I guess, Kevin, I'll meet you at the other side. Let's take a walk through town. So here we are in Ikseongdong. We're just entering the neighborhood, and it's fairly quiet today, but you'll notice there's a lot of trendy coffee shops, a gastropub, and these tiny alleys that you could quite easily get lost in. Not admitting to anything right now. What you'll find are these traditional homes that have been opened up and reinvented. So this one is well, it looks like that's a pizza oven, or maybe it's a pizzeria or a bakery. This one looks like some kind of bakery as well. I guess we've hit the bakery corner. It's a photo studio, restaurants. Some of the buildings aren't the traditional architecture, but they certainly are very old. That one was definitely an older pre-70s building. We're entering the more restaurant zone here. Lots of outdoor eating. This is famous for, this neighborhood's famous for pork. Neck, moksa, neck meat. Yes. I believe this cafe has a very famous cheesecake. Well, this neighborhood was a real dilemma. It was very run down. The buildings were falling into disrepair, and there was fear of crime and unsanitary living conditions, and it was then encouraged for a different land use and redesignated. Basil? Basil salads. It's an interesting 50s diner style. Donburi. 50s diner that serves pork cutlet. It just goes on and on. This is believe it or not, a Thai restaurant. It's like a bathhouse. Wandering through here, you'd think it's easy to forget that you're actually in the middle of a very, very modern, high-rise city. Feels like I'm in a little village. Well, very trendy village. And yet all I have to do is look up and I can see. I'm reminded that I'm still in Jongno. Seoul. French restaurant. French cuisine. Some rather swanky clothing store. And who knows what this will become. Work in progress. Well, I guess we should go out and find Kevin. So in case you missed the name, this is Ikseong-dong, Ikseong neighborhood. And from here, we're going to head back to that other building, which I pointed out just earlier, Seoul-sanga. Seoul-sanga would be translated as Seoul Plaza. And that's another building that, just like this neighborhood, is recently experiencing some changes and a new lease of life. Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little hungry. There's a smell of barbecued pork belly and a hint of soju. Oh. Maybe we should just stay here. Okay. Right, well here we are, popped out of the nearest station, which is Jongno Samga. That's exit number 6 just there. And we're going to head back to Seoul-sanga, Seoul Plaza, and I'll let you know how that area has experienced a new lease of life as well. Oh, it really is nice and cool now. Wow, the colored sky, beautiful. We're crossing over Jongro, Bell Street. And we're going to go down one of this back alley here, which will pop us out at Gwangjang Market. But the building you're entering at the moment and this area is known as Seoul. Well, this is Seoul Plaza. And I'm not sure if you can get up here. Maybe over there. Skillfully done. So now we're going to see a different side of Seoul. This alley is very different in the daytime and the nighttime. Of course, it's nighttime now, or it's evening time now, so everything is closed. But I think that gives it an exciting, very exciting feel. In the daytime, this will be bustling with electronic stores and LED light sale stalls. And it's easy to get lost in here. And actually there's an alley just completely dedicated to second-hand watches. But at night time, in the evening time, it's like this. Much quieter than the busy Bell Street we were on earlier, but we're following the same road. I think you can make it, Kev. So, follow. I think Kevin's got a little stuck in there, but he'll be fine. He can get out. Follow me. We're right at the end of the alley, and it spits us out over here. Gwangjang Market. This is the west entrance to the market here. If we were to go in here, we'd find on the second floor vintage clothing and traditional Korean attire that's used for a lot of important ceremonies like weddings and the likes. So you'll get very good quality traditional Korean clothes here, called the hanbok, on the second floor. And on the first floor, which is where we're going to be visiting today, is the very famous street food market. We're actually going to cycle back down Jongno again and go into the north gate of the market. Okay, here we go. I never told you about Seoul Plaza's new lease of life, did I? So that plaza in the 70s was the gem, like a symbol of Korea's development and modernism. And then in recent years has become very run down and outdated. I mean, it's a wonderful place. There's all kinds of electronics in there. That, you could build a TARDIS in there, but it is quite dated and very run down. So a lot of investment has been made in the building, and we're seeing new kinds of businesses come in, coffee shops and restaurants, and a younger crowd bringing in new ideas these days. So it's quite an exciting spot, space to watch for sure, and it's got a really cool rooftop. Right, welcome to Gwangjang Market. If you've got a sweet tooth, this is an excellent place to come, and we'll be coming back here later on. But the place that what this market is most famous for is bindae-dok, and we'll be looking at some bindae-dok in just a moment, how it's made and what it looks like. So as you can see, they have these market stores here where you can sit outside, and this is bindae-dok, which is fried mung bean. It's fried mung bean. Sometimes it's mixed with a bit of pork, the smaller ones, and there's vegetables mixed in as well. And on here we have chun, which is like a Korean pancake. That's also very good. Both of these go really well with the drink that's being enjoyed here. This drink's called makgeolli, which is made with, it's basically a rice wine. And it's also famous for squid. You can buy live squid here, and it'll be chopped up, still wriggling as you eat it. And finally, it's famous for like a beef tartare, which is a raw beef, basically, with an egg on top. So, all this great food. I'm I'm really tempted to let you guys just carry on. I'll be right here. You guys go on. I'm going to just get. No, I'm just kidding. But before we go, we definitely are going to try one snack, and it's from my personal favorite store here. Let's see if I got some money. Oh yes, there's 1 Korean won. See if I got any more. 2,000 Korean won. It should be enough for. Yeah, I think we can get a chapsal. Hold on. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, 오랜만이에요.
네, 오랜만이에요. 한국말도 잘한다.
아, 감사합니다.
네.
우리
정말 오랜만에 오셨네.
네, 잘 지냈어요?
네, 한국말도 정말 잘해요, 이제. 네. 지금 한국에 계속 계셨어요?
네, 네네. 떠날 계획이 없어요. 아직.
들어갈 계획이 없어.
너무 편해요. 한국 너무 좋아요.
한국은
네.
정말 좋아요.
엄청 좋아해요.
호떡도 이렇게 맛있는 거 있고.
네, 우리 찹쌀떡 하나
호떡.
주시겠어요?
하나?
네.
네, 이거 3개 줄게, 3개.
3개요?
3개.
2,000원으로?
2,000원으로.
어우,
몇 명 왔는데.
아, 감사합니다.
여러 명 다 줄게. 하나씩. 몇 개씩 줄까? 몇 개 줄까? 몇 명이 왔어요?
우리 3명. 3명이에요.
다 줄게. 아이고, 정말 좋은 데 쓰셨네요.
아이고.
또.
요새 좀 더 바빠졌어요?
바빠졌죠.
좋아요.
그럼 정말
우리-
호떡이 많이 팔리고.
이번에도 촬영하고 있어요.
아 그래요. 친구들이에요.
네, 맞아요.
직원들이구나.
케빈, 백시영,
네, 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
박태영.
반갑습니다. 예.
감사합니다. 잘 먹었습니다.
예. 아 여기 있어요. 하나씩 드시고 또 호떡 먹고 싶을 때는 항상 와요.
네, 네, 또 올게요.
감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다. 잘
예,
먹을게요.
정말 멋있어요.
감사합니다. 안녕히 계세요.
네.
건강하세요. That lady's a gem, and this is chapsal hot dog, which is absolutely delicious. I'm going to nip to the side here and have a quick bite. Oh, that is good. So what I've got here is it's sticky rice that's been mashed and deep fried with some honey and some nuts in the center. It's sweet and delicious. It kind of tastes like a really thick pancake, really thick, sticky, sweet pancake, but it has the nut flavor as well. So, fantastic. Well, I'm not sure I can eat all of this, but I'll definitely be saving it for later. So I'll pop this in my bike right here. 컵 포장할게요. 할머니, 혹시 컵 3개 더 주시겠어요?
뜨거워?
네.
아, 예. 정말 한국말 다 잘한다.
감사합니다. 또 올게요. Okay. Solutions. There we go. Honestly, I think 1 between 3 is probably enough. Oh, I can't stop. I'm gonna get fat. Oh, so good. Okay, guys. I'm back with you. Don't worry, I'm back with you. I've finished eating now. Oh, I'm tempted to go for more. No, we're going to head from here, continue down Bell Street. Actually, we're gonna make a right just down the next right and join the parallel road to this on the other side of the market, which is a road that runs along the side of Cheonggyecheon River, where we started. And we're going to hit Seoul's most recently renovated bike lane, and we'll be riding along that until we get to the East Gate. So follow me. guess we can go there. So here we are, back on the river road again. The Cheonggacheon River is running to our left-hand side, and it's gonna. Oh, the lights have just come on. That's where we started down there, down at the downtown Jongno, and we've weaved our way through the city to where we are right now. We're about at the halfway point between where we were and the Dongdaemun market area, which is where we'll find the DDP, Zaha Hadid's Dongdaemun Design Plaza at Masterpiece. And I think we're going to get it just at the right time. The light is going to be perfect. This bike lane running along the side of the river here is the only one that I know of in the country that's on the left-hand side of the road, which causes all kinds of confusion. But here we go. So recently they've raised the bike lane off road level on this curb, so the cars don't come into the bike lane, which makes it much more comfortable to ride on. Well, we do have to slow down for the occasional pedestrian, but we can share. It's nice to share. And this, what we're entering now, is what's known as Dongdaemun East Gate, Dongdaemun Sijang East Gate Market. You can see the East Gate, the old East Gate over there. That's the actual East Gate to the city, the wall, the city wall. And it's the reason why the market sprung up here, because obviously the gate was a bottleneck where people would come through into the city, and this pigeon is really brave. Go on. Oh, don't go in the road. It's okay, it's gonna cross the road. There was a bottleneck where people would come through. This was also the weak side of the city, because obviously the river is here, so if anyone wanted to attack, it would be easy to follow the river up. So the military were based here a lot, and that was another reason why the market sprung up here. To this day, we have market selling mainly clothes, mainly wholesale. It's open 24 hours a day. And if you like K-fashion, then this is the neighborhood K-pop gets. So, where we are right now, we're entering the Dongdaemun Design Plaza area. As you can see, it's right in the middle of all the shopping malls surrounding. So those are the daytime malls over there. There's Duta, Migalore, AMPM or APM, etc. And these are the nighttime markets on this side. As we walk up into the Dongdaemun Design Plaza, you can see the hints of what it was before Zaha Hadid, the architect Zaha Hadid, designed this space. It used to be a baseball stadium, and deliberately the lights from the baseball stadium have been left behind to remember that. This is widely considered to be one of her best and most famous pieces of architecture, but she was frustrated in the construction of this building because, well, if you were to look down over the wall, you'll see remains from the Joseon dynasty, and this wasn't something that was considered when the building was being designed. So the design had to be adjusted to accommodate for these new findings. 50,000 tiles on the building. It's got vegetation on the rooftop. It's used as an art hall. It's used as a conference space. Station as well. What a great spot. It's so wonderful, and so you saw how busy this neighborhood was, and yet here we are completely alone in this wonderful, beautiful peaceful space. What a great place. Yeah, let's walk down. We're going to head to back to the Cheonghacheon River. We'll go and have a quick look at the ancient East Gate, Hungin-jimun, the gate through the wall, and then we'll follow the city wall all the way up a mountain called Naksan. Which is the mountain on the east side of the ancient city of Hanyang. So if you're not familiar with Zaha Hadid, she's a Pulitzer Prize winning architect. She was, she's Iraqi British, and fortunately she's passed away now. But we still have a lot of her work. She left behind a lot of her work, which we're all very fortunate for. If you were with us on the morning e-bike tour, you'll recognize that building there with Dusan written on top. That building was the one we could see from the Bukchon Hanok village and from the Inwang mountain as well. And off we go. This section that I'm entering now in the daytime is wholesale shoes. It's all closed down right now. You'll notice the east gate just over there on our left. And we're actually on the outside of the gate here. So if you look closely, you can see the name of the gate is visible because we're on the outside. We're going to ride up on the outside of the city wall, and then we're going to ride back on the inside. So we're going to make at the gate, we're going to make a right turn, follow the city wall. The gate has this additional wall curling around in front of it. So you actually enter the gate at right angles to it through this secondary gate over here. And here we are on the city wall. Time to drop a gear or two. Now the wall is quite substantial on this side. I wouldn't like to be attacking that with my sticks. But on the other side of the wall, the inside of the wall, it's very ergonomical. The earth has been banked up against the wall so that the soldiers on the inside are way up there and can shoot down at the enemies on the outside over here. This is incredibly steep, but my e-bike is making short work of it. I do feel a bit sorry for Kevin. Give him a push down. 지나갑니다. So this old neighborhood is not just residential. There are actually a lot of factories. A lot of the clothing that is made, that you'll see it in Dongdaemun, some of it is manufactured in this neighborhood. How you doing, guys? Oh. Well, look behind you. That's how high we've come. That's the Seoul Tower, just peeking through. Can you see it? There you go. And there's the city wall on the southern extent of the city that passes the Seoul Tower. And then over here to our right, we'll be joining the city wall. We're at the top now, so it's all downhill from here, don't worry. Well, apart from this uphill. That's the outside of the city wall, and this is the inside. But before we go down, come and check this out over here. Come on over here. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? It was worth it. There you go. Good job. The moon. Is the moon? Oh. And looking back down at the city, you can see where we started, that kind of the bright pink light over there. That's the Jongro Tower, and that's pretty much where we started our journey today. In the center of the city, right next to the Boshingak, the bell, the building with the bell in it. Yes, that's right. That's the one. Okay, guys, let's head back down again. Just have a quick look in the park where we are. This is Naksan Park. Another wonderful space with some great views. Maybe we should try and get up there onto the city wall. Are there steps around here? No, I think it's around here.
계단 말고
There we go. We made it. We're looking out over the city wall to the outside of the ancient city of Hanyang. The city wall runs about just over 18 kilometers all the way around the old city. So what you're looking at now would have been, well, it would have been outside the walls. It's not in, wouldn't have been part of the ancient capital. Songbukdong over there. Ah, beautiful. It doesn't feel that high from this side, but when you look out, whoa, I wouldn't like to be attacking on the other side. You've definitely got an advantage here. That's Hansong University on the outside of this wall. So of all the mountains that the city wall goes over, or the big four, shall we say, this one is the lowest. So the east side of the city was always considered to be the weakest. It's got the lowest mountain and it's got the river valley of Cheonggyecheon River. So I think this is gonna be the last part of our tour today. We're out of time, but it's been a pleasure riding with you. And next time, let's do this again, but let's continue down the wall and enjoy the downhill together. But yeah, it's been a pleasure riding with you. I hope you've enjoyed the tour, and I'll see you again for the next installment of Good Evening Seoul with WeRide, myself, Vincent, Kevin, and our long-suffering cameraman, Taeyong. Cheers.